Welcome to Lipstick Attitude, hosted by Dr. Elizabeth King, psychotherapist, hypnotherapist, author, and motivational speaker, specializing in trauma and women's mental health, and Yvonne Haase, psychotherapist and coach specializing in relationships, couples, and women's issues. This show is your dose of inspiration, information, and laughter. In each episode, Dr. King and Yvonne bring you hacks, tips, and inspiring stories to help you live a successful life. So ladies, grab your lipstick. It's time to do this. The Lipstick Attitude podcast is powered by Suit Stilettos and Lipstick Foundation, a nonprofit movement to empower women and children from all walks of life to be resilient, self-confident, and purposeful leaders through education, mentorship, and community outreach. To learn more, visit sslwomen.org. Please note that this show is intended to empower and educate. It is not meant to be utilized as a substitute for individual therapy.
Well, I cannot believe this is finally happening. What do you think?
I'm super excited. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I cannot believe that after, I don't know how many years.
Let's not go there. Is that really important to today's conversation?
You just don't want to throw us under the bus.
No, of course not. It's been a long time, everybody. We've been talking, dreaming, meeting about, sketching it out,
planning it. I think the bottom line is that we were afraid to take the leap and just do it because of all the technical pieces that go along with this. So we've been procrastinating. That's what I think it is. But I am so happy. This is our very first podcast. And we are so excited. This is the Lipstick Attitude podcast. Finally, it has come to fruition. Woohoo!
Yeah, so this is the first one. So in your reviews, be kind.
Please be kind. We'll come after you, and we won't be kind towards you.
I mean, in all honesty, we're filming the very first one in the midst of a pandemic.
Yes, I know.
So be nice.
So be really kind, really. Compassion is really key right now. So we're very excited. This is the first Lipstick Attitude podcast. We've talked about it. We've been doing our shows on Facebook Live forever. We're going to be expanding the scope of what we do. And here we are finally with what we think will be just an extraordinary journey for us and for you. So welcome to the first Lipstick Attitude podcast with Dr. Elizabeth King and
Yvonne Haase.
I know that you guys know us and love us because we love you right back. We've been on the air for 5 years?
Yeah, at least.
At least 5 years.
Well, you were on the air before that.
I was, yes. Well, I had a radio show and then I started doing Facebook Live, and then I had some personal issues that I needed to attend to, and Yvonne was asked to cover for me, and little did I know that it would become the Dr. Elizabeth King and Yvonne Haase show, but it has, because why?
Because I'm not leaving.
I know, she refused to get off the show.
I was like, your show, I've been doing this for a year now. I think it's the Yvonne Haase and Dr. Elizabeth King show at this point.
I think so too. And of course, all of you have been so gracious to love on us and absolutely love on Yvonne because she's super funny and so energetic, and she just brings a wonderful element to the show. So guess what? We are anyways tied at the hip, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're in cahoots together for sure.
Are you seeing that my pop-ups are coming up? Did you get to see that?
No, I did not get to see that.
Okay, good. I don't know if pop-ups will be showing up on this video, so bear with us. We're just trying a whole bunch of new things, and we'll see what happens. But this show is really, really super important, and we're going to get into our topic. We really wanted to do, as our first kickoff series, we wanted to talk about what's going on everybody's mind, which is the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. So we want to talk about that because it's such a serious topic, but we want to continue doing what we used to always do, which is what's new and great in your world. we're not going to let that go. It was awesome. So
No, we're not going to let that go.
What's new and great in your world?
Well, I am a podcast junkie, and I have been writing this and like asking for having a podcast like forever and a day. And so I'm super excited that we're finally launching. And thankfully, my 15-year-old, almost 16-year-old tech support dude was available to help me last night, because otherwise this mic and this, I don't know what this screen thing is called, none of that would be set up. So
so you have your own tech support over there.
I do have tech support. Of course, I have tech support that, also rolls their eyes and they're like, Mom, you're so old and you should know how to do this stuff. But nonetheless, it's tech support, and thankfully my self-esteem is well intact.
That's awesome. And if you ever want to, get a little break from tech support, send them over my way. I need
you
help.
Can have them.
I should have. That was quick.
I'll mask him and glove him up.
that was very quick.
Where am I going, Mom? Oh, I'm just dropping you off. You'll be fine. Someone will pick you up.
No worries. No worries. You like her. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So
and Pam, what's new and great in your world?
Well, besides the fact that we are kicking off our podcast, which is so exciting, I'm just beside myself that we're actually doing this after all these years. But besides that, I am so thrilled that we have been collecting money, fundraising, so that we can buy items for the Boys and Girls Club for the kids to stay home safely and have something to be entertained with, since a lot of the kids do not have technology. So I am so excited to share that we have been buying lots of goodies, lots of coloring books, lots of crayons. We just delivered another big stash of those to the Boys and Girls Club yesterday. I think we're probably up to a couple thousand items have been donated, and that means a couple of thousand kids that have something for them to do and stay home safe. So I'm very excited to announce that, and so thankful and grateful to everyone that has donated. Keep the donations coming to Stilettos and Lipstick Foundation, where we'll continue to shop for you and help our kids and our community during this very, very difficult time.
Sure.
That's what's new and great in my world. So do you want to do this? You want to talk about our topic today?
Maybe we should tell people who we are, since some people might not know us.
We did. We introduced ourselves. I said, I'm Dr. Elizabeth King, and you said you were Yvonne Haase.
I know, but what do you specialize in?
Oh, that kind of introduction.
That kind of introduction.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
She doesn't have a doctorate in, in ant science.
No. So you want me to share what I do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I am a psychotherapist. I specialize in depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and post-traumatic stress. And of course, I do general therapy as well. I'm also a hypnotherapist. I am also the CEO and founder of Stilettos and Lipstick Foundation, which is a women's empowerment organization. Well, it's women and children. And we provide conferences and tools for women and children to be resilient and just amazing leaders in our community. So, and what about you? What do you do?
I am a licensed mental health counselor. I specialize in adoption, fertility, and couples counseling, and of course, women's issues. But I also have a general range of practice right now. And I think Dr. King and I are getting like really a good hang on this telehealth and telecounseling platform, which has been super cool. And I'm very excited that we can continue to provide services to everybody. And I'm also the vice president for Stilettos and Lipstick Foundation.
And co-founder.
And co-founder.
Yeah.
I forget my titles.
You have a lot of them, that's why.
I know.
It's awesome. Yeah, it is awesome. Do you want to share with our listeners and our viewers, since we're also doing a video, how we got started on this journey? Because I think, excuse me, I think it's important for them to know if they're new to the lipstick attitude and
Is
our
this the hug
journey.
story?
Well, this is the hug story, and then moving on to the SSL story. So what?
Okay. So I'll
Yeah, go
start
ahead.
with the hug story,
Yeah.
right? So I had a private practice and Dr. King had a holistic center, and I was sitting there one day, and through an email, she had sent out an email to a networking group. We didn't know each other, never met before. And it was an email asking for a therapist who had a practice if they wanted to essentially, join her holistic center and be part of something bigger. So I called my husband and he's like, well, you've been saying you wanted to do something bigger. So why don't you, send her an email? So I did. And like within 2 minutes, the office manager sent me back an email scheduling a meeting. And I don't know how long I was there chatting with her, but I felt like I knew you forever. Like, I don't even know if we actually talked about our practices or we just talked about us and life and all kinds of stuff. But at the end of the interview, the part that I will certainly never forget was she looked at me and she goes, I have to hug you. And at first I was kind of like, why? And she says, well, I'm Spanish and that's what we do. And I was like, oh, okay. So I give her this big hug and I leave and I call my husband and I said, well, I'm closing down my practice and merging it over into this center. And he's like, wow, that interview must have gone great. And I was like, she hugged me. And he's like, why? Why would she hug you? And I said, I don't know. She's Spanish and that's apparently what they do. But all I know is I'm merging my practice over. So get ready because I'm doing a whole shift and I need some muscle to move me. So that's how
we met.
That's how we met. And that's how my practice got merged over. And I then became part of the International Holistic Center at the time.
At the time, yes, which now has gone through a transformation and it's Dr. King and Associates. So you're the associates part.
I'm the associate.
I'm the Dr. King part. Yeah, we've been on this journey now for 8 years or 9, close to 9. And I can't think of a better person to be sharing this amazing, amazing journey and ride with other than you, Yvonne. You have been just not just a colleague, but obviously my best friend. And we are doing this thing called Life Together. We started, by the way, I just want to say that not too long after we met, like literally like 4 months afterwards,
4 months.
We started planning what has now turned into a movement. We started planning our first conference for women, and basically that story, we'll share it in more detail at another point, but basically it started with me just saying, I see a need. I see that women are struggling with doing the balancing act. How about if we create a conference? And what did you say, Yvonne?
I said yes, which leads me to the point that the reason I'm her best friend is because I never tell her no.
Exactly.
That's why she really loves me.
Well, honestly, I would love you more these days if you would just say no to a few things. That would mean
no, but now it's fun.
Yeah, now it's fun. Well, maybe we might be sitting out by the pool having, margaritas and bonbons instead of working so hard if you would say no a few times. What do you think?
I can't eat bonbons, so I think I'm going to continue to say yes.
So I think you are. And I guess it will maybe be good for our waistline if we keep away from the bonbons.
Sadly.
But basically, we started the movement back in 2012 for suits, stilettos, and lipstick, and it has grown and continues to grow. And Lipstick Attitude came because we wanted to share tips and tricks for life hacks for you to be able to be empowered and to take control of your life. And the lipstick part for me has always been so significant because lipstick is our war paint. It's what we put on to go out and face the world. And at some point I'll share my life's journey with you. and share more of why lipstick is so important. But for today, I really want to focus on talking about some of those tips and tricks and hacks for how to survive this COVID-19 crisis. How about if we
Yeah.
do that?
No, absolutely, because I'm sure your practice is blowing up with it. My practice is blowing up with it. And honestly, not just my practice, but friends and neighbors and, just people who are reaching out for some kind of help and explanation,
And
and
please keep reaching out because so many folks out there are not reaching out and are just staying home alone. I keep saying this. Social distancing does not mean social disconnection, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But it's so important that you reach out. This is the time for you to find your community, your tribe, and say, hey, I need help if you need help, or ask someone if they need help if you don't need help, because somebody out there does.
yeah. And I think I spend a great deal of time, just normalizing people's reactions to this. I don't know if you find that to be
Yes,
true,
absolutely true.
but I tell people all the time, I'm like, you're having an absolutely normal reaction to an abnormal time. This is abnormal for us, for sure.
Yeah,
Maybe not
absolutely.
if you lived during this, what was it, the Spanish flu or the plague or whatever, maybe it was more normal for people then, but this is not something that we've ever been through in our lifetime.
Absolutely not. And hopefully we don't ever go through this again. But meanwhile,
Amen.
we need to find the ways to support each other, to uplift each other, and to keep each other accountable for moving forward because we don't want to get stuck in this
Right.
place either. So we decided to come up with 11 different tips for you to go ahead and incorporate into your everyday life so that we make sure that we're moving forward and we're here to help and support you along the way. So I'm going to start with the first one. The first one is to take care of yourself. And we talk about this so often, right? Especially as moms are being, incarcerated with their kids. I mean, quarantined, quarantined with their kids and husbands and significant others, right? Trying to just deal with everybody's stuff. And you're in close quarters. We have to find time to take care of ourselves, to go out for a run, to go out for a walk, to go out and sit and just read a nice book or, put a facial. The other day, I actually put one of those black masks. I looked like the monster, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
so, one of those
Yep.
clay masks. And then I just sat and listened to music and, you need to find ways to unplug. So make sure you're taking care of yourself, eating healthy. I know that it's so easy to grab the junk food because it's there. Everybody, has packed up their homes like we're in a hurricane in South Florida, wherever you are, packing up the refrigerator with bad, yummy food that really wears you down. So get rid
Yeah.
of that, eat healthy foods, exercise, do something nice for yourself. So take care of yourself.
It's funny. Have you seen the meme that says after quarantine, I'm either coming out a hunk, a chunk, or a drunk?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Right.
yes.
It's really, I mean, we're laughing about it, but for a lot of people, just I want to add in the taking care of yourself are drinking, very heavily. And I have talked to people who start drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning and sometimes earlier, because they're having a really difficult time dealing with it. So if we're not exercising and we're not, eating healthy foods and we're not building up our immune system, and in fact, now we're even wearing it down more with stress and alcohol. And listen, Dr. King and I are not opposed to a very nice glass of wine or a Tito's on the rocks, let me tell you,
Right.
right? But there, time and place.
Time and place in moderation. Make
Yeah.
sure that you are not drinking every day and all day long, and that you're occupying your time with productive things and things that make you feel happy, and not just drowning your sorrows with alcohol and
Yeah.
drugs if that's the case.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I'm going to go into the next one because this is my favorite, because I tell everybody this: get some sunshine. We need vitamin D. We need vitamin K. It is a natural mood lifter, so if you're not quarantined, to the inside of your home to the point where you can't step out onto your balcony.
Absolutely.
You can't go into your backyard. We need sunshine in order to thrive and to feel good, and I mean, honestly, for me, I schedule like in between patients, I run downstairs and I go sit in my backyard for a few minutes just to like get that, that warmth and that glow. I'm sure you can tell by my non-existent tan just how much sun I do get, but we're not going to go there right now.
Absolutely. Vitamin D is so important, especially to keep your immune system healthy. So be out there in the sun as much as you possibly can. If you're up north and it's snowing and yucky, find that moment. There are some moments that you have some sunshine. Get out there in those moments. Don't just say, oh well, I'm not going to get out because it's cold outside. Even if it's cold and there's sunshine, it is good for you. So get out there. And the next one is the one that I've been talking so much about: connect with others. So important. Human beings are made for connection. We are made to be together. And so by being asked to or told to social distance, we are going against the grain for us. And so hence why we feel depressed and anxious and, have lost hope. So find ways to connect. And that doesn't mean connecting physically right now, because we want you to be healthy and safe. But we definitely are asking you to connect with people on the phone, on Zoom, on GoToMeetings, on any platform, on Skype, on FaceTime, whatever it takes, so that you have a way to see, not just talk on the phone, but actually see someone across the way or across the virtual lines, so that you feel that emotional connection, which is so important. I always say, and I said this at the beginning of the show, social distancing does not mean social disconnection. We need to be connected as human beings.
Yeah. I see people on Facebook all the time who go to see their parents who live in like assisted living facilities, and they're standing like in the parking lot, and their parent lives, is out on the balcony, like a floor or 2 floors up in the air. And people pull chairs out of their car and sit and talk back and forth with their parents. They're finding a way to stay connected. And if that kind of connection, even with distance, brings you anxiety, then definitely utilize your virtual platforms. Because listen, it's so interesting now. I call people, they answer right away. Before I would call people and it would go, immediately go to their voicemail. But now people are looking for connection for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. So I love this next one too, because I tell people to spend this time cleaning out your past or building for your future, right? So I love that, we're including like taking on a project or creating a new hobby for yourself. We have some time. We're working from home now. We have some time to do these things. It's funny. I mean, I don't know if this pandemic didn't happen, if we would have taken on the project of this podcast.
Yeah, we would have been prolonging it more and more.
Yeah, because other things get in the way, right?
Absolutely. I also took up, again, my congas. I brought them out, I dusted them off, and I've been practicing as much as I can in between, different meetings and doing whatever else I need to do. I've been, enjoying myself practicing my congas. So, whatever dusty hobby you had put away, just blow off the dust and pick it up again.
And for all of you who, because I'm sure you've had this, Dr. Kim, where you say to somebody, what's your hobby? And they're like, well, work is my hobby. Work is not a hobby.
Work is
right?
work.
Work is work, and a hobby is something that you do for relaxation and for your creative outlets and things. Now is your opportunity to find that hobby. right? So you have some time to pick up an instrument or to pick up photography or something, different like that. I mean, I garden, so I'm always out there. Right now I have a whole bunch of new plants and stuff getting ready to go into my tower garden.
And that yours is really great because it checks off a few of these tips, right? Like you get sun, you're taking care of yourself because you're getting exercise as you're moving around.
Yeah.
And then, you're also picking up, your hobby that you love and filling yourself with joy, filling your cup, which is really important right now.
Exactly. Oh, and I'm lessening my grocery bill because I grow a lot of food.
Oh, that's cool. Can you send some over, please? Because my grocery bill is growing by the day.
I know. I just did my end of the month budget, and I was like, gas $0, entertainment $0, dining out $0, groceries $2,000. Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Yes. I know.
So all the money that went into gas and other things apparently went into my grocery bill.
Okay, so we're on the same page.
Yeah,
basically.
No, for sure. For sure.
But at least you have a family, a big family. It's just me and George, so I don't know why I have such a big grocery bill, but I don't know. Maybe, my scale has an answer to that question.
Yeah. I hear you.
All right, the next one is to pray or meditate or both, right? It's so important that you are centering yourself and that you're bringing whatever it takes to bring hope and to, let you release some of the things that you cannot control. And that's what that does. When you're praying or meditating, you release what you cannot control and take control over the things that you can. So important that you dedicate time every single day, really centering yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes, that could look like reading, if you're that kind of person, or tuning into an inspirational song or podcast or something, but anything that you utilize to center yourself, for sure. And that goes in hand with the next one, which is turn off the news. Like people sit, it's like they watch, you're sitting and watching the hurricane news. If you're from South Florida, that reference. People stay zoomed into the television and don't turn it off, and then can't understand why their sleep is disrupted. They're suffering tremendous amount of anxiety. They're not finding joy or pleasure in things. They're not, utilizing their time differently. Turn off the news. I turned off my news a long time ago. And through this pandemic, honestly, I have only been opening news stories on Facebook that have titles that I like.
Well, talk about denial, Yvonne.
No, I'm not in denial. I know the numbers are high, which is why I continue to quarantine in my home with my family. And I feel I'm doing my part in, flattening the curve. But I choose not to surround myself with negativity. So I like to open the stories of people who are surviving or a technology that helped a man at Holy Cross Hospital, or, things like that. I just refuse to surround myself with negativity.
Yeah. For me, I like to watch the news in the morning for about 10 minutes. I catch, the highlights of what's going on so that I am informed. And then that's it. I used to watch it over and over again, and I said, why am I doing this to myself? So I cut it off and I just watched in the morning. Sometimes I may catch 5 minutes at night just because I like to hear what has transpired during the day. But it's not that I'm feeding my mind with this information over and over again. It's very limited. I get the information I need and I move on. So whatever works for you, you could do like Yvonne does, what I do, or what you do, but just get off the news on a constant basis because it's not of any value to you. The next one is to keep busy. And boy, have we been keeping busy, Yvonne. What do you think?
I've been eating bonbons, really.
Yeah, right. Well,
margaritas, bonbons.
Not. She's been working, and trying to balance the work, right? When you're working from home, it's really difficult to stop the working. So for us, we've been super busy, but in a way, it's a saving grace because we don't have a whole lot of downtime to think about what's really happening out there. We're moving forward. We're continuing our life as if, well, not as if it's not happening, because we obviously are quarantined and we're not out there, but we're moving forward with hope that this is going to be over and we're going to be able to get back into our lives. So therefore, we have not given up on our projects, on our goals. We do not want to miss a beat. So keep busy. It will definitely help your sanity for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And besides, if I don't keep busy working, then I have to turn into homeschool mom, and I'm not good at that.
Well, we're going to talk about that in one of our podcasts about moms becoming everything to everyone and how to keep your sanity through that process. So we'll
how not to do that.
How not to do that.
Another tip, and I use this for all kinds of situations, is to declutter your space. Cluttered mind is a cluttered home is a cluttered mind, right? And so this is an opportunity, like I say, clean out your past, like get rid of stuff. I can't even tell you how many boxes of things I have cleaned out of my house, lately. First of all, I find it very energizing for me to clean out stuff that I'm not using and to pass on to somebody else. But decluttering your space is not looking out over a stressful environment helps us tremendously.
Absolutely.
Right?
And remind yourself that this too shall pass. I think that that's one of the key things for you to do, because when you start to feel so worn down and overwhelmed and you feel like this is never going to end, I want to remind you, and I want you to remind yourself when I'm not around, that this will pass. We will get through this. We will get through this. We always do. And we will come out hopefully with lessons learned, with a stronger, more determination to move forward. And a lot of good things can come of this. So, we're in it. We did not choose to be in this, but we're in it. But we know this will pass. So be hopeful and remain optimistic and keep moving towards your goals. So
and find a way to pay it forward. Someone is, sitting in a situation that might be worse than yours right now. There are people, I know, I tell my husband all the time, I'm like, there are people who are home with people that they don't like and or trust. There's situations going on that, we see all the time in therapy, that puts a lot of things into perspective, but find a way to pay it forward. Even if it's, sending a roll of toilet paper to someone's house, or, giving them a call, or paying for the person's coffee in front of you and behind you in a Starbucks line. There are ways to pay it forward. Thank people. Like I was at Publix the other day and I spoke to the manager and I was like, just thank you. Thank you so much for, making us at least feel like things are safe when I go to Publix, with everybody in their mask and things. Find a way to pay it forward. Say a kind word to somebody. It will make your day, and it certainly makes theirs.
Absolutely. I think this is a great opportunity to pay it forward, because we are all home and quarantine, and life should be more centered for us, and we need to stop and think about others and how we can make a difference in their lives. And that could be by putting up an optimistic, positive meme on your social media and tagging your friends, making a phone call to a friend. It's not always monetary. It sometimes, like Yvonne said, just a plain old thank you means the world to someone that may be, really working so hard and may need those words. So yeah, absolutely, pay it forward.
Yesterday, the food line in my neighborhood, my husband said, was wrapped around a city park that's in the area where they're handing out free food for families in need. And then he's a teacher in a middle school, and he got a message saying, you know, that if any teacher could donate to please, you know, Venmo some money to this teacher who's collecting to support the families of the kids who they don't have it, you know. And it was like, so I was so excited to be able to send money to them to, you know, to help a student in his school have lunches for the day.
Wow, that's amazing. So there's so many opportunities to find what you're passionate about and go for it, you know. And even if you're not that passionate, if you have a few dollars that you can donate to something to make a difference, it will absolutely make you feel better about what's going on. So pay it forward for sure.
For sure.
And last but certainly not least, and something that I really want to stress, if you are struggling, and the things that we just talked about and the tips that we just gave you, don't even touch your emotions because you're so wound up and so overwhelmed. Seek help. Seek help. Call a therapist. We are all doing, pretty much all of us are doing teletherapy, so you don't have to risk your life or the life of others. You can just, you know, go ahead and schedule a Zoom call or a meeting like we're doing right now. And let's just get help. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. And I want to stress that every single day. I want you to know that we are here for you. So with that being said, I think we have concluded our first podcast. Yvonne, what do you think? I hope this has turned out. Listen, whatever it is, however it turns out, I just want you to know that we are here for you. The rest is technology. We will get this right. Have patience with us. Walk this journey with us. We are here learning just like you are. We're learning to do things differently, and we just want to share this information with you. We didn't want to wait anymore. We thought it was super important. I hope this was of benefit to you. And as we always finish our shows, we always finish them with our lipstick. So grab your lipstick, Yvonne.
I hope that the Zoom doesn't zoom me out, like, you know.
Well,
oh, there it is.
There it is. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Everybody get your lipstick. This is our war paint. So let's put it on. Now more than ever, we need our war paint to face the world. We can't get out there to face the world, but we have to face it from our virtual world. So I want everybody to know that you can do this. We're going to get through this. We are stronger together, and absolutely we will get through this together. So let's just keep moving forward, and we're here to support. If you need us, please reach out. We will be posting our first podcast all over, but you can absolutely reach Dr. Elizabeth King and Yvonne Haase on the Lipstick Attitude on Facebook. You can go to Suit Stilettos and Lipstick Foundation, which is sslwomen.org, and also connect with us there. And we're just so excited to be here. So have a wonderful one.
Have a wonderful day, everyone. Stay safe. Stay well.
Stay well. Bye.
Bye.